First things first, guys. Let me just introduce myself. My name is Karan Verma. Uh, it's been more than 14 years of journey that I am a part of this field. Basically, I started my career back in 2010. Since then, I have been working in the animation industry. I am the senior animation lead at Lakshya Digital. So, in this 14 years of journey, I worked on many AAA game titles. The list is right in front of you. Some of the recent titles that I have worked on as an animation director or maybe senior animation lead. Lords of the Fallen 2023 was the recent one. And then, of course, be it motion capture or keyframe work, I have covered it all in this 14 years. I've worked on games which are completely, which were completely dependent on the motion capture when it comes to animation. And then there are also games in the list where there was a mixture of motion capture and keyframe both. So yes, I have covered it all. Uh, FIFA is one of the games I would like to mention here that, since my childhood, I am a fan of this game, and it has really been, an inspiration for me. This game was the reason why I decided to start my career in this field. So when we talk about evolution of games and game art over maybe you can say 20, 25 years from, in the history, uh, these are the two elements that I would like to discuss about. Just because the evolution of games actually is realized by a gamer or someone that once a 3D production gets evolved over the period of years, and of course the industry trends where the market is actually going, or as end users, as gamers, what we want from a game when we play those games. So I will be covering both of these. So when we talk about 3D production, basically the first thing that comes in our mind is the gameplay. Whenever a game is released, it is always important, when we play a game as an end user, we always first focus on the gameplay. We always want the gameplay to be very interactive, very indulging enough, so that we can play that game over and over again. So back then, when I started this discussion, I was talking about my childhood days where we used to play 8-bit games, and of course, you will be seeing some of the examples in the coming slides. The games were created in pixels, and now, if I talk about 30 years or 25 to 30 years in now in 2023 or 24, the games are becoming so realistic that it becomes hard for us to realize that okay, this is a game and not a realistic movie or a TV series that's happening in front of us. Back then, when we talk about the hardware or software stuff, we did not have that much of uh, you can say the hardwares and the softwares were not that advanced to support high quality games. I have played, you can say in 1998, there was a game called Midtown Madness. I'm not sure how many of you have played that game. Yes, I have one hand, couple of hands. So in Windows 98, playing Midtown Madness was a total different experience. And then playing Gran Turismo in 2024 is completely a different experience. And when you are playing Gran Turismo in VR as well. So that's how you see the gaming field, the gaming industry is evolving over the period of years. Back then, we used to play games which were completely for the leisurely time pass, as a time pass games. And then now people are actually, as we meet, we get to know that people are actually, the more towards the gaming development and they want to start their career into gaming development. So these are a couple of the examples of the upgraded gameplay over the period of years. On the left hand side are the games that some of us would relate to, that we have actually played these kind of games in these graphics, and the similar game is now being released in PS5 with an upgraded gameplay. So that's how I see myself, playing this game in my childhood, spending time with my friends, discussing about these games. And this particular game, Contra, had 8 levels in it, and we know how much struggle we used to, spend playing hours on this game and then not reaching to the last level of it. And now the same gameplay has been introduced in PS5 as well, and I played this game a couple of days back, and it's really amazing. This is again one of the examples where Super Mario in 8-bit versus the PS version of it. Again, how many of you know this game? Does even anyone can name it? Prince of Persia, exactly. Now look at the skeleton on left hand side and the skeletons on the right hand side. It's sorry. Yes, the gameplay was harder. I mean, I cannot recall if I have cleared a couple of levels of this game. This was so hard to play. Even if you see, I have seen it on YouTube. There is a version where a gamer actually clears every level of this game from zero to the last level, and the gameplay looks so hard in today's world as well. So it's actually very difficult as a gameplay, but then the art level has also evolved over the period of years. It's not about only the art, but then the artists have also evolved. As and when the technology is advancing over the period of years, we have the hardware support, we have the software support. The game engines are built so advancedly that they support each. Nowadays in Unreal itself, you can create animations directly into it. You don't need additional software to create animations and then launch into the game engine. So the game engines are also being advanced day by day, and it is helping the artists to evolve and grow with the technology that we are having in the market today. Again, one of the favorites game, I guess, starting from 1997 till 2023. This is how GTA has evolved. On the left hand side, you can see the 8-bit maybe GTA, and on the right hand, extreme right, you can see the 2023 latest version of the GTA, and God knows what they are going to launch in GTA 6. So this is how the game art has evolved. You can see the 2D stuff of the art, and then on the extreme right, you see the realism, how realistic the games are being made these days. And I'll keep myself shut for another 7-8 minutes maybe. This is an interesting video that shows the hardware upgradation from PS4 to PS5 of the same game. So you will have a direct comparison between the two videos. One will be played on the left and another one will be on the right. This will show you how the game has evolved. Of course, needless to mention, this is a game FIFA, and the video is self-explanatory. So let's play it. Volume. So that's the PS4 and the PS5 comparison between the two. If we talk about the pitch wear in PS5 and PS5, look at the comparison. When the player slides, even the pitch is getting weared off. That's when you see the game is being evolved from PS4 to PS5. It's the same version of the game, but then the hardware has, that much. The hardware has shown that much of support for a game developer to include these things in the latest version, in the latest engine. See the difference between the graphics of the PS4 and the PS5 version.
And the fans really want him to shoot. And a goal! At this stage of the game, it might be decisive. And just look at their supporters.
Well, the rain has come in and apparently has no intention of departing here at the Parc des Princes. My name is Derek Ray.
This is how the look and feel of the game is improved over the period of years. This is not the extreme example of it, but then if I talk about FIFA back in 2007, 2008, you won't see these graphics, you won't see these game intros, outros, the celebrations as detailed as you can see here in 2023, the latest version. So that's how the game has evolved over the period of years. The ball physics that you just saw, you saw this motion stress in the ball when it was being hit. Earlier, this was never the demand of the game because of the as one of these speakers just said to me that they created a game they had the limitation to create it within 5 MB of it. But now technologies and the hardware have advanced in such a great deal that the size is not an issue anymore. That gives the freedom to the artists and the game developers as well. They can include as much detail as they want in their game engines. If I talk about the art styles, currently when we talk about production, there are three different art styles that we majorly produce work on. These are stylized, semi-realistic, and realistic. Stylized, and I'm not saying that the current trend is moving from stylized to realistic, but then these are the three pillars of 3D production where the game developers and the production side collectively decide, okay, this is the game that they are willing to develop, and then what art style they want to choose. So when I talk about stylized version of it, this is more exaggerated version of the art where you find everything. When I talk about the 3D stuff, the color schemes is more towards cartoony side. If I talk about the animation styles, there are more squash and stretches in the animations, some fancy stuff, fantasized animations, or maybe 3D stuff that you may not see in the real world. But when I talk about the other extreme, which is realistic, and the current trend of industry is that more and more realistic games are being produced, and even the demand of the end user as a gamer is also that they are more loving the realistic style of nature of the work. So when I talk about realistic stuff, it is very, as I said earlier as well, it is very difficult in this era that you figure out a difference between the art that has been made and the realistic or maybe realistic environment that you see around you. So I have chosen a game Uncharted, and from its first version till the last, this video will showcase how the art style has evolved over the period of years when it was launched first and till its last version. This is the first version, Drake's version. version of Uncharted. Just keep a watch on the fire that is, that you can see in the environment as and when something in the environment catches fire. When we reach till the last version of it, you will be able to realize what difference in the actual game out. Art is getting improved, the animations are getting improved, the quality, the overall output is getting improved. As the game is progressing towards its last version, this is Uncharted 4, I guess. You can see the environment being more and more realistic, getting more and more realistic over the period of years. Started off from the version 1, this is version 4, and it will go till version 6, I guess. And then look at the animation feel the overall environment. Now you can see the fire at the background, the changes in the outputs. It's getting more and more realistic. If I talk about the animation quality, back then, when you can say early from 2010 to 2014, the mocap quality that we used to get was in animation. When we used to work on mocap projects, the mocap quality that we used to get was not that great. We used to have, we used to clean it from very base, from very rough data, and take it to a very high level quality by hand keying it. But then in today's world, in today's time, we are getting mocap as and when it is recorded, it is ready for production. I mean, it is ready to be deployed in the game. This is how even the mocap engines, even the devices that are capturing mocap has also evolved, and that has helped in improving the overall quality of the animations as well in the gaming. So the second element that I was talking about was the industry trends, and industry trends in today's time cannot be you can say cannot be discussed or cannot be judged without discussing these three parameters. AR and VR is something that the industry is moving towards, and this cannot be ignored. The rise of online gaming has also been since COVID hit us. I guess the gaming industry was the one that was on boom, just because you can sit in your AC rooms and play various games, various multiplayer games, and connect people all across the world. And then the third topic, I will discuss it as it comes on. Uh, First, let's discuss about the AR VR thing. This has helped the game developers create hyper realistic gaming experiences for the gamers. You can actually, if I name some of the games, Gran Turismo or Microsoft Flight Simulators, where you can actually sit inside a car or maybe a plane and fly that off from the runway itself. And if you decide to choose a point somewhere around the world that you need to reach that point, you will have to fly that many hours to reach that point in actual. So that's how the realism is getting involved in the gaming. Cross-platform compatibilities is also one of the examples where the technology is getting so much advanced, where I have a PS5, someone else has an Xbox. So there are things getting made where we can use our own platforms to play each other. At the moment, there is a limitation where we cannot play games cross-platform, but then in the coming days, of course, there will be changes in this, or you can say evolution in this as well, where people can actually connect with each other on different platforms and play multiplayer games. Yes. So this is one of the video of the VR stuff. I have compiled, or actually, I figured out a video on the internet and then compiled it for your, for your visuals, just because I wanted to share the AR and VR experiences, how the games are being made in VR, and how realistic experience a player gets when actually he plays a game. So, few games you will be seeing footage from our Gran Turismo, and in the last you will get Microsoft Flight Simulator. So this is Gran Turismo, and now the player is actually sitting in an F-16, actually sitting in an F-16 cockpit and getting that experience of flying an F-16. The experience of having a VR headset and then just playing these games is completely different. Uh, it cannot be described in words, but then when you are flying a plane and suddenly it needs a refueling, and this happens while you are playing a game, it gives you a realistic feel, and that feeling cannot be just described in words. This is again, you are actually kayaking through the environment. This is the Antarctic region, and if you go on the Google Maps and search for Antarctic regions, you will find environments actually 90% matching to this. See this, wearing a VR headset in a Gran Turismo game where you can actually look, feel the cars, the reality, or even the inside the car, the gadgets that you are seeing are so real. While playing it, you actually feel like you're sitting in a real car. So that gives you a beautiful experience of playing a game, and this is how the games are evolving, where developers want the end users to be involved, to be indulged in the game so much that they want to play it over and over again. See this, how beautiful is this when you are flying a plane by yourself and flying over cities, flying over oceans, mountains, wherever you want to go. Then you finally land the plane in the sea. And rise of online gaming, as I said, when COVID hit us, the gaming industry was on boom. Just because the freedom to play, to sit inside a AC room and play games multiplayer with players all across the globe was was a different experience. Nowadays, as I said, back in my days or our days, basically, we used to have local shops in our streets where we used to spend times and on local joystick games. We used to have a setup where the shopkeeper used to have a local setup. We used to have a joystick and two buttons to play these 8-bit games. And in today's world, as you just saw, the games are made in VR stuff, and it gives you an experience where you are live sitting inside a plane or maybe a car and driving those or flying those. There have been a streaming revolution as well, where gamers are actually moving on to platforms like Twitch or YouTube and recording their live sessions, available for all of us. They are recording their live sessions or maybe the gameplays that they play, and they put on YouTube or Twitch, and then they are converting them into monetization as well. So this is altogether a complete revolution in the gaming industry. When I talk about cultural impacts, games like Counter Strike uh, has affected us in such a manner that we, especially me, is a fond of camouflage T-shirts now. Just because I want to be on a terrorist group or maybe a counter-terrorist group. So this is how it has influenced our cultural impact. It has influenced our cultural themes as well. So impact beyond gaming, I wanted to discuss it separately just because this is the main exciting part of this presentation. Uh, there is a game, Last of Us. I'm not sure how many of you have heard of it. But then when the game was launched, HBO was so much interested in the gameplay, in the storyline, that it actually wanted to be a live adaptation of this game into a live TV show. So HBO collaborated with the Naughty Dog, PlayStation Productions, Sony Picture Televisions, and they actually wanted to create a TV series out of it. So I have a video which shows comparison between the TV show and the game, and believe you me, the TV adaptation is completely, taken from the game, scene by scene. And I have a comparison. You can see that in the next slide. Scene by scene, even the characters, their costumes, their characterizations have been kept in same way, just because the gameplay, the storyline was so influencing. Also, the first live adaptation was this Last of Us, and it was the title that received major award considerations as well. So this is the video. On the left hand side, you will see the TV series, and the right hand side would be the game.
It's not just the Atlas.
The dialogues, the costumes, the characters were get as similar as it could be.
Somebody, we've just been through hell. Okay, we just need. Shit. Please don't. Look. Please.
Ellie.
Get out.
No! You're not leaving her! Get off me, you fucker! I'm not going with you!
Was that everything you hoped for?
Jury's still